Browns make $80.7 million Deshaun Watson decision before NFL free agency. The Cleveland Browns entered the final stretch before the NFL's new league year, facing a financial challenge. With free agency approaching and the salary cap deadline looming, the organization needed to create financial flexibility while maintaining its roster plans. On Friday, Cleveland took a significant step toward that goal. The Browns restructured quarterback Deshaun Watson's contract. According to Cleveland.com reporter Mary Kay Cabot, Browns are restructuring Deshaun Watson's contract today to lower his $80.716 million cap charge in time to become compliant for the start of the league year, league source tells Cleveland.com. It gives the Browns flexibility to sign free agents. This allows Cleveland to become cap compliant before the league's negotiating window opens next week. Cleveland plans to convert a large portion of Watson's $46 million base salary into a signing bonus. By spreading that money across future years in the contract's void structure, the Browns are expected to create roughly $35.76 million in immediate cap relief. The financial burden will eventually shift into the deal's void years, which currently run from 2027 through 2029. Before the restructure, the Browns were $17.1 million over the salary cap, one of the league's tightest financial positions. The NFL's salary cap increased to $301.2 million for the 2026 season, the first time it has surpassed $300 million, but Cleveland still needed significant flexibility to operate in free agency. The restructure is expected to help the team pursue several roster priorities. Among them is retaining linebacker Devin Bush, who delivered a career year in 2025 with 124 tackles and 3 interceptions, including 2 returned for touchdowns. Bush was the only player in the NFL last season with 2 pick-sixes. The Browns are also expected to address needs along the offensive line and at wide receiver while attempting to re-sign punter Corey Bojorquez and guard Tevin Jenkins. Watson, now 30, is entering the final season of the fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract he signed after Cleveland traded for him in 2022. The deal remains the only fully guaranteed contract in NFL history. The former Houston Texans first-round pick has appeared in just 19 games for the Browns since arriving in Cleveland. During that span, the team has gone 9-10 in his starts. Watson's availability has been limited in recent seasons, including a twice-torn Achilles injury suffered during the 2024 campaign. He has since undergone 2 surgeries and is currently rehabbing and throwing in Florida. The Browns expect him to compete with quarterback Shedeur Sanders for the starting role in 2026. Head coach Todd Monken indicated at the NFL Combine that the team intends to evaluate the position competitively. I think any time that you have a player that at one time has exhibited the skill set at an elite level, I think you're always going to give them the benefit of the doubt, Monken said. For Cleveland, the restructure is less about the past and more about the immediate future. By easing Watson's cap burn, the Browns have positioned themselves to remain active in free agency while the quarterback situation continues to unfold in the months ahead. The $80.7 million decision, Cleveland's defining moment. The wind in Cleveland has always carried the weight of football dreams. On the shores of Lake Erie, hope rises every offseason, and every year the city waits for the moment when its team finally turns promise into greatness. But on one quiet morning before NFL free agency began, the Cleveland Browns faced a decision that would shape not just their roster, but their future. What to do about Deshaun Watson and his staggering $80.7 million salary cap hit. It wasn't just a number. It was a symbol of the gamble the Browns made years earlier when they traded for Watson and gave him one of the most controversial and expensive contracts in NFL history. At the time, the franchise believed it had finally found the quarterback who could carry Cleveland back to glory. But football rarely follows the script teams write in the offseason. Injuries, suspensions, and inconsistent play meant Watson had rarely been able to show the superstar form he once displayed in Houston. Yet the financial commitment remained immovable. The fully guaranteed contract meant Cleveland couldn't simply walk away. The money would follow them either way. So the Browns' front office gathered in a quiet conference room inside team headquarters. Screens glowed with salary cap projections, spreadsheets, and contract breakdowns. Every dollar mattered. Every move had consequences. At the center of the discussion sat one number, $80.7 million. That was Watson's cap hit for the upcoming season, an enormous figure that threatened to swallow a massive portion of the team's salary cap. With free agency approaching, Cleveland needed flexibility. Teams across the league were preparing to chase star receivers, dominant pass rushers, and veteran defenders. The Browns wanted to compete in that market, but they couldn't, at least not with Watson's cap hit standing in the way. General managers in the NFL are often described as roster architects, but in moments like this they become financial engineers. The Browns knew they had one realistic option: restructure Watson's contract. The strategy was familiar across the league. Convert a large portion of Watson's base salary into a signing bonus. Spread the financial impact over several years instead of absorbing it all at once. It wouldn't eliminate the cost, but it would move part of the burden into the future. In simple terms, the Browns were borrowing tomorrow's cap space to survive today. The decision wasn't easy. Restructuring the contract would free up tens of millions of dollars and allow the team to pursue new talent in free agency. It would give Cleveland a chance to strengthen the offensive line, add defensive depth, and build a roster capable of competing with the league's elite. But there was a catch. Every restructure pushed more money into future seasons. Every adjustment made it harder to escape the deal later. If Watson failed to return to elite form, the Browns would eventually face massive dead cap charges that could haunt the franchise for years. Still, doing nothing was not an option. Free agency is one of the NFL's most intense annual rituals. Within days, billions of dollars change hands and players move across the country chasing championships and opportunity. Teams that enter the market with no cap space are forced to watch from the sidelines as rivals get stronger. Cleveland refused to be one of those teams. So the decision came down. The Browns would restructure Deshaun Watson's contract. The move instantly transformed the team's financial landscape. What had once looked like a suffocating cap situation suddenly opened up. Millions of dollars became available, giving Cleveland the ability to negotiate with free agents and strengthen the roster before the new season began. For fans, the news sparked mixed emotions. Some saw the restructure as a smart business move, an aggressive step to keep the team competitive. Others viewed it as another extension of a risky commitment that had yet to deliver the expected results. But inside the organization, the message was clear. The Browns were not giving up on their plan. In the NFL, the quarterback position defines everything. Teams build around it, invest in it, and